down to the wire, just pleading for this legislation to go forward so that my family and your family and our country is safer. And I'd like to introduce Beverly Eckert.
Great job.
You guys are making it hard. Okay. My name is Beverly Eckert. My husband, Sean, was killed on September 11th at Ground Zero, one of the places where we held vigils over the past week. Those vigils in Boston, Washington, Los Angeles, New York, and near and dear to my heart in Buffalo, New York, were held to remind members of Congress of the human cost of a terrorist attack and to ask people to sign a petition in support of the 9/11 bill. It was hard to be at Ground Zero for 5 days. It was really hard to see the hole in the skyline where my husband's building was and where so many people died. It was hard for all of us to be there, telling people who were visiting the site why we're there with our petition, and they all wanted to know something about the person we lost. There were tears and hugs from total strangers. But it was really gratifying that those people understood why we were there, and they couldn't sign our petition fast enough. That vigil took place on Ground Zero. But before 9/11, that area was known as the World Trade Center, and it was attacked because it was a symbol of America, and so was the Pentagon. 3,000 people killed that day because they were Americans. But what happened here in Washington on November 20th made a mockery of those deaths. The Speaker of the House prevented a bill that would make us all safer from going to the floor for a vote. I used to think that the words America and democracy were inseparable. But on November 20th, democracy was stopped in its tracks. Because of that, some of us family members decided to leave a note for the Speaker at his office. We thought that he should be reminded that, as defined in Webster's dictionary, the arbitrary use of power is called tyranny. But as Carolyn mentioned, today we're calling D-Day. D stands for democracy. Today, we'll learn whether we still have one. Whether the Speaker of the House is going to allow members of Congress to vote this session on the 9/11 bill. The right to vote in our representative system of government is our most precious possession as Americans. It's worth fighting for. It's worth dying for. People that died 3 years ago on September 11th, they took a bullet for this country. And we as family members don't want their deaths to be meaningless. We want something constructive to come out of their sacrifice. We want a bill that will make us safer. Today we're going to hold our final vigils. The first is going to be at the White House on Pennsylvania Avenue between 15th and 17th Street across from Lafayette Park Square. After that, we'll be delivering our petition to Speaker Hastert. And if there's no vote scheduled today or tomorrow on the bill, well, we're going to return to the White House tonight at 8 o'clock. And where members of Congress are going to be arriving for a holiday party. And we're going to be standing there, reminding them of their unfinished work. On September 11th, I lost my faith in my government because it turned a blind eye towards the al-Qaeda threat in the summer of 2001. And once the attacks began, because the government was so helpless to stop it, there's only one way for my faith to be restored, and that is for this bill to pass. By tomorrow night, I want to be able to say that I'm proud of my government and of our democracy. During the past few days, as I was standing at Ground Zero, and I said this yesterday, it occurred to me that if this bill doesn't pass, I don't think I'll ever be able to go back there. I think I'll be too ashamed. Because I will have failed my husband, and secondly, because his government will have failed him again. And I don't think I could go there knowing that nothing has changed. So all I can say to those who think that Congress needs more time to act and that this bill should be postponed till next session, well, and we say we shouldn't rush this, well, I think there's a good bet that Osama bin Laden and al-Qaeda would like to see this bill delayed too. It's been 3 years. This country has waited long enough.